Hey everybody, so today we are talking about the 8 books I read in July from the looks of it. 7 books I read, 1 I DNF'd. So, okay, to start, have All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Now this is the third book in the Natural series, and I absolutely adore this series. Not every book has been a 5-star. I think only one of them has been, if even. I'm not even sure anymore. But I rated this one a 4-star, and I can't really tell you much about this book specifically because each book kind of like, I don't know. But The Naturals is basically a series. It's very much Criminal Minds, but with natural like abilities. Like we have like a lie detector person who can like predict lies and like tell if someone's lying and whatnot, and they're all teenagers, so they're supposed to be working on cold cases, but they keep getting dragged into not cold cases. And this one, I realized each book kind of follows a specific person more than like the rest, and I really like this one. This one might have been my second favorite so far, I think, out of the 3. And I love the character that it follows, and I just wish we got more of her in general than like even like our main character, because it's all in one perspective, but we kind of heavily focus on one person each book, and I really wish we got more of this character specifically because I just love her and I just wish there was more. But the mystery was really interesting. I think the setting was very interesting. I think it was a great book. It's not a 5-star. And that's okay. I still loved it. Second, I started and read Heartless by Elsie Silver. Now, I feel like I don't even have to talk about the series. Everybody has at least heard of it or seen it. And this is only my second Elsie Silver book ever, and I'm loving her so far. Flawless was not a 5-star read for me, and this one was. 100%. I loved it. I think the writing was great. I love the tropes. It's single dad, kind of enemies to lovers. I wouldn't really say enemies, but they don't get off on the right foot at all. And it's very grumpy sunshine, but this one follows Cade and Willow, which is the girl's best friend in the first book, and each one of these books follows one of the brothers. And I'm loving this series so far, and I can't wait to continue. Sadly, it's not on my TBR for this month, but who says I follow one of those anyways, honestly. But yeah, it was very grumpy sunshine, very much kind of enemies to lovers, single dad, and nanny. I loved it so freaking much, and I think the spice was really good. And I just love the characters, I love the growth, and I love the change, and I don't know, I love the kid in this as well, and I love how much Willa loves the son as well. Now, my third book that I would have read, but is a DNF, is The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hilderbrand, and there's nothing wrong with this book. I'm not the target audience. I couldn't keep up with things. I was listening as an audiobook, and I mostly listen to audiobooks while I'm at work towards the end of the night as I'm closing, but I just couldn't connect with a single character, and I don't really think you're fully supposed to. They're all a little bit dislikable, but there were so many characters I couldn't keep track. And then I went like 2 weeks without listening, or 3 weeks maybe even, and I was just like completely lost. And I'm like, I'm not even really enjoying it. I'm just trying to push through it. But I don't think it's a bad book at all. I'm just not the target audience, and I think it's too mature for me and too many characters for me to keep track of, especially in an audiobook. But yeah, basically this one follows like this woman trying to host like a 5-star weekend, and there's a bunch of drama and secrets and grief, and I don't know, it was very interesting. I couldn't push through it, and I'm trying to be better about DNFing a book if I want to DNF a book, so I decided to stop listening to it. My fourth book is an absolute 5-star read, and I've seen a lot of people reading it recently, and that is Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. And I loved this. I adored it. I loved our main characters. I loved the kids. I loved everyone around. Like, I loved all the characters except Pete. Pete was actually terrible. But basically, we have this woman who is dealing with a lot of grief because wasn't it grandma? No, it was her mom. passed away a year ago, and now she's also getting divorced. I think it was a couple years ago, but her husband divorced her a year ago, and now they're trying to settle that like divorce, and she's now a single parent to 3 kids, and she just does not have her life together. And she's like a professional organizer. She helps people like organize and clean out their houses and stuff like that, and hers is a wreck, and she just, I don't know, she's really struggling. And then she runs into Ethan at a dog park, and it's such a meet cute, but in like a quirky way. And I loved both of our main characters. I loved the storyline. I love how sweet and gentle and just amazing he was, and how misunderstood he was. And this was really precious and really nice, and it is very mature. It's not just some happy little summer romance. It's literally like a very, very sad book, and it deals with a lot of other things outside of the romance, and I just really loved it, and it was very believable in my opinion. I loved them so much together, and I truly believe they've been together ever since. And then I read on my Kindle The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. I rated this a 2.5. I did not like it. There is much more gruesome topics in this than a lot of her other books. I have read a fair share of her books. I've read quite a few at this point, and I don't buy any of them, but I read all of them on my Kindle, and I've always really adored Frida McFadden. Even the books that I didn't love, or I guess like the twist, I still rated higher than this one. I did not like that there wasn't a trigger warning going into this book, because as a warning, and if you really don't want any form of a spoiler, just skip ahead. I'm going to give you the chance now. There is bad topics with children in this book. And you are all set if you don't want spoilers. I hated it so much that there wasn't a trigger warning, that I did not know this going into this book. It wasn't on the synopsis, nothing like that. And I just don't agree with her. I don't like how the whole book was spent framing her husband so terribly when we love her husband and we love her. And I just think she was so hateful in this book. And I think he was terrible in this book. And I just it's really sad, because it's they're years later, it's supposed to be their happy ending, whatever. And I hated both of them. Now, if you've already read this, you may not understand why I'm talking poorly about her, but I hated the way she treated the next door neighbor. Yes, she was suspicious. She wasn't nice. Nothing. But what I'm talking about is there's a scene where they all go to the beach, and this really isn't a spoiler, because I'm not going to say anything spoiling, but all she says in her head is she's wearing a bikini at this age and looks like that and blah blah, but I didn't even wear things like that. I didn't wear bikinis like that when I was 20. And it's just okay. I thought you were a little more feminist than that. Why are we judging a woman on her bikini choice? Judge the woman, but don't judge her on her bikini choice. That's so weird. And I just didn't like either of the characters. I didn't like the twist, and I didn't exactly predict the twist, but I pretty much did. And I'm very disappointed in Frida in this one. And this was a much darker book than I think really any of her other ones. I don't know about The Teacher, because I don't really know what that one's about, but I just did not like this at all. I can't believe that was our last Housemaid book. But on a little bit happier notes, I read Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is the second full book to Powerless, and then there is a novella between. But I went to her release party, so I got a bunch of goodies in here. But also the signature, her lovely signature. And I did think I was gonna like this one more. I still rated it a 4-star. It was still really good, but I think I have the same complaints as a lot of other people, and this one felt like it didn't have as much plot. And the banter was still amazing. I still adore the characters. I still think the plot was interesting. I really thought I had the ending spoiled to me, but not fully. It still caught me off guard. The people that said they predicted it, I didn't. But this one was still a lot of fun. but definitely felt like a fill-in for her next book. And I've heard that there are interviews her talking about how it kind of is, and I just think some critical parts of the book kind of got skipped over, like important information just kind of went bloop. Like they focused on it for a chapter and then it was just gone, erased, and not thought about. But I really am loving this romance, and I bet I really will love the third book, and I hope it makes up for this one. Not that it's bad, it's literally still a 4-star. Still loved it. But I just want that final... I got a call. So, anyways, I just really want that last final bit of amazing Lauren Roberts, because this is still written amazingly and beautifully, and it's still so Lauren Roberts. I just wish there was more in this book before the third one. And then the second to last book I read in July was actually Throttled by Lauren Asher. Now, I've heard mixed opinions on this one, and I've already had kind of hit or miss. Oh my god, I miss out so much reading her books on my Kindle, but I just like reading on my Kindle when I can. Wait, this is so insane. Wait, there was a playlist? Oh. I should just start reading her books in physical copies. Like, look at this. That's so cool. So, with this one, this is a Formula One kind of enemies to lovers. It's not really enemies to lovers, but it's like they're on this Formula One. He's on the Formula One team, and her brother is also on it, and they don't like each other at all. So, it's kind of like brother's enemy. I did really enjoy this, and that's good because the last book in the Dreamland Billionaire series by her, I hated. And this is good. It's nothing magnificent, and I wish we kind of, I don't know, it's very weird. It took a while to get into the romance, and I was like, huh, like that's not very Lauren Asher. But then when we did, kind of like got happy too fast, and it's like, I don't care about reading happy couples, it's kind of boring. But I did rate this at the end of the day a 3.5. I thought it was really fun and just a quick, easy read. It does have a couple darker topics, but I do recommend it, and I'll see about the rest of the series. I don't really know who the other books are about. I don't even own the second or third book. I only own the fourth, but I do plan on reading these on my Kindle anyways. Lastly, I have Ready or Not by, I don't know if it's Kara or Kara, Bastone, and I love this so much. This was such an easy 5-star, and I just knew it throughout the whole book. And the only thing I have to like recommend about this one is don't read it for the romance. Read it for more of a fiction with a subplot of romance, I think, because basically this girl has a one-night stand and gets pregnant, and the romance does not follow the baby's father. It follows a childhood friend, and really for the majority of like the book we're just getting bits and pieces of them like kind of growing their friendship again because it's been a while. And towards the end it kind of escalates. It's very slow burn, but I do really love it, and I think I was in the right mood to read more of a slow burn and just focused on the main character. I love the main character so much. I think she was so freaking funny. Eve, she's so funny and so real, and it follows a accidental pregnancy that's not exactly wanted at first and is very hard to like deal with, of course. And I just love all the characters in the book, and I almost wish this was like a series too. I'd love to see the other people involved in this book again. And the baby's father was very amazing too. He just had his flaws, and everybody had their flaws in this book, and that's what I liked about it. But what I loved about Shep, the other main character that like is the romance, the childhood friend, is he's so sweet, acts of service, words of affirmation, like everything. He was just the biggest sweetheart, golden retriever, like so fun. And I love the New York City plot in this. I feel like we get New York City in a lot of books, but I feel like this one was very more like real New York City, like all the like little sales and like events that happen. And I don't know, I think I just read this at the really right time. But if you are going into this, read expecting a slow burn and a lot surrounding around the female main character to get where she needs to be a part of this romance, and I love it, and I wish nothing but the best for these characters. They're so sweet, and I love how they didn't boot out the baby's father either. So yeah, but that is all I have for today, and you will have to wait till August where I have already read a whole book, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, you can go watch my August TBR video, and please like and subscribe and hang around. I will see you for the August wrap up in late August, because I don't think I'm gonna post it September because I do go to college. But yeah, have a great day, everyone. Bye. Or night. Bye.